We have our Interim Police Chief Jelcick, who is going to brief us on a major community concern, national concern, but also very much in our community as a capital city about how we are going to provide public safety for our residents over the next day or two. Hopefully that's all it is. But, around the inauguration, there's a lot of anxiety in our community. And so it's my honor to introduce Jelcick to come talk to us.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council and community members, and thank you for giving us time to share with you a little information about what's kind of happened over the last week or so, what we know about current events that are planned to take place in our city, and what resources we have in place to ensure that we have a safe community on the inauguration and the days following. And I'm sure everyone has seen on the news and social media that there was a national call out for demonstrations in all 50 state capitals for the 17th of January and on the 20th on Inauguration Day. So to begin with, I want you to know that the Olympia Police Department continually gathers information from a variety of sources that, along with our regional law enforcement partners who we share information with, to ensure that we have the most up-to-date information about any planned events that pose a public safety risk to our community. At this time, as of late this afternoon, there were no known planned events that we felt poses any significant risk to public safety for January 20th. Out of an abundance of caution, the National Guard will remain deployed on the Capitol campus in large numbers, along with increased numbers of state troopers. And the Olympia Police Department has also brought on extra staff that will be working within the city limits and working along with our regional partners in the Sheriff's Office and other law enforcement agencies to ensure that we have an orderly day and public safety exists throughout the day. We will also be working with our neighborhood associations and neighborhoods that are adjacent to the Capitol campus. We work with the Streets Department to ensure that we have signs up limiting, ingress and egress, restricting that to only really residents who live in those areas to limit any traffic congestion if we do have any events that take place. I just want you to know, again, we have no information about any protests or demonstrations that have been advertised that really cause us alarm and feel that there's any risk to any substantial community safety issues. And lastly, I would say that in order for us, to really maintain peace and work towards peace in the future, that our community needs to remember that we need to work for peace in the present moment. And so that if people do decide to come out and exercise and demonstrate and exercise their right to freedom of speech, expression, it's going to be really important that they remember to do that in a manner that respects the rights of others, the law, and it just really promotes peace. So that's all I have this evening. Any questions, I would open it up to questions as well.
Any questions for Aaron? Right. Well, Councilmember Rollins.
Thank you. Chief, you said there weren't events planned that are causing concern at this point, but can you outline any? Can you confirm what events are scheduled for that day as far as assemblies?
Yeah, we do expect to have some people show up, and there is information that small numbers of people will show up and to exercise their right to free speech. But there's no large organized event that we know of in which large numbers of people will show up en masse with any intent to cause harm or destruction or promote any violence. So that's really what we're looking for is any of those ones that would trigger that level of response for us, and we're not seeing that at this point.
Councilmember Madrone.
Thank you. So since a lot of the groups that have been, involved in insurrectionary behavior and other things have been deplatformed, a lot of the social media they were using has been taken down. Is there any concern about not having enough access to the information, or that that information and activities have gone underground?
Yeah, that is absolutely the case. Much of the conversation, and we have heard that much of the conversation that's taking place is offline, and that's not uncommon. It's really hard to predict, and that's been something that's happened over the course of the last several years, is increased communications offline. Certainly, we could have a group show up, very unpredictable, but we are very prepared for that to take place. And I am very convinced that we have adequate staff between the Olympia Police Department and our regional law enforcement partners on the National Guard to ensure public safety exists. We do have a very open and agreement with our regional partners that if something were to happen within the city limits, they will assist us, and we will do the same on Capitol campus. So that's having that numbers of law enforcement. Really, I think we have adequate numbers to provide public safety if an event does take place that moves in that direction.
Thank you. Anyone else? I heard as well today that we will be posting this on our website if we haven't already, so we can refer our constituents to the city website. And then I believe it's going to go out on social media as well, what you had planned. And so people, can go there for good information. So thank you so much.